Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
What's up, man?
How are you?
Chilling, man. You know, trying to live life. Gets hard.
Yeah, it can be. What's going on with your whole photo thing? You know, you were like doing the national. You want to be a National Geographic photographer and all that?
Yeah, you know, I'd love to, but art school denied me.
Seriously?
Yeah, man.
For what?
Had a D in a math class, and
Oh man.
the lady at the program who said she was gonna help me
Yeah,
didn't help me.
that's tough. That can happen sometimes. So what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do with this?
I don't even know, man. Might just stop taking pictures.
What? You love to take pictures, don't you?
I do.
You still do?
I do.
You still love it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, man. You know, I've been reading this book, Switch. Have you read this actually?
I have not.
This is a great book. I kind of really changed the whole way I see the world. And they have this concept in here about bright spots. You know what they mean by bright spots?
Not at all.
It's kind of deep. I mean, basically they tell this story of this guy who was sent over to Vietnam, right? And his job was to help solve malnutrition in Vietnam, right? The kids weren't getting enough food, and you know, it was a big problem. So the government was like, look, you have 6 months to solve this. And he's like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? You know,
Right.
This is a big problem. And he started researching about it, and it turns out it's huge. You know, like you have to fix poverty, you have to like do sanitation, right? You have to get clean water.
Wow.
And he's like, there's no way I can fix all this in 6 months.
Right.
So what he said is like, let's go figure out what is working, right? Most people focus on what's not working. He's like, let's go find some bright spots where things are actually working. And they found some places where some women were actually really doing well and feeding their kids well, and their kids were growing well.
Right.
And he said, we need to study what they're doing. So they went in, they studied what they were doing, and it turns out that instead of just like feeding the kids rice, like most mothers were, they were feeding them rice, but they were mixing in crab and shrimp and like, you know, sweet potato greens.
Hey,
And, you
that's
know,
what's up.
it was really good. And they were feeding them 4 times a day instead of twice a day. So they said, okay, we know what they're doing well. We need to spread this. And what they did is they had these cooking groups set up, and the women would teach each other how to cook, and then they would spread it to another village. And then before you know it, it's just like spreading like wildfire across the villages. And before you know it, he had like 2.2 million people that were really affected by this.
Wow.
And it really helped solve child malnutrition. So that's an example of a bright spot. He found something that is working and applied it somewhere else. So I'm thinking about your problem, and like, you got this D, and you asked the lady and she wouldn't help you. Is there any time where you've asked for some help and you actually were able to get help?
Yeah. Probably with my photo teacher.
Yeah?
I needed some help with my camera on some settings, and I went in and asked him, and he helped me.
Okay. So how did you ask him?
I went in at my lunch hour
Yeah?
and got the help then.
Okay. Were you just like, hey, I need some help, or were you like passionate
I was
about it?
passionate, you
Yeah.
know. I still am.
Yeah.
And I just went in. I was excited to learn the settings.
Yeah.
I asked him in enough time, and we got it done.
Nice. Okay. So the way that you asked him, do you think you can go and talk to this lady and ask her in the same way?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, because it seemed to work in that situation. And it might work, you never know.
Right.
So that's the whole idea of Bright Spot. So maybe you could check it out with this woman and see if it works.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah?
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
All right.
Have a good one, man.
You too.